on here. Let me just get the color adjusted here, and then we'll start talking. Let's see. And let me see. And we're ready to go here. Who we got on here now? Let's see, we got somebody on here. We'll wait till we get a few more though. We're gonna have open chat tonight. Anything's we're free to talk about pretty much. So we got 2 people on here now. We'll wait till we get a few more. Okay, we got Marco here. Good morning, Mark. How you doing? Jack Redmond, good to see you on here. Let's see, we're up to 6 already, so we're ready to roll pretty much. As soon as you guys want to start shooting questions, let's see. Mark says, well, at least here in Chicago. Okay. Up to 10 already. We're moving fast. That's good. Norma's on here. That's good. Okay, so we're getting some good people on here. Getting some of the usual crowd. Let's see if we get any new people on here. We're up to 12. Who else we got on here? Michael's on here. Far From Home's on here. Who else we got? Let's see. Who else we got. See if a few more pop up. Yeah, as soon as you guys want to start chatting, we're ready to roll here. As soon as you guys if you guys have any questions or just want to chat about something, I'm open to everything. We're up to 16 people. 3 thumbs up already. Smoky Mountain's on here. Smoky Mountain Modeler. So he's already on here. Let's see who else we got. Moving up to 18. Jason's on here. How you doing, Jason? Let's see who else we got. Yeah, guys, just start shooting something on here. We can start up any subject you guys are open to talking to. Norma says, how are you, Steve, with your family? I'm great with my family. My family's doing awesome. You know, we're doing really good here. With the exception of the rain every day. Kind of bored. Let's see. Lloyd White says, good morning, Steve, from East Coast. There we go. East Coaster. That's where I'm from. Jay Goldstein, first time. Welcome aboard, Jay. And Michael Leguest says, when can I fly to the Philippines? You know something? I had somebody ask me that question the other day, and that's not a question really we can kind of guess at. I think it's going to be a little bit of a while. I'm thinking if at the fastest, probably maybe December, unless they do something with the green lanes. But the green lanes, they haven't opened to the U.S. because the COVID's still flying around the U.S. So they haven't opened that up. And the tourist visa hasn't opened up yet. So I think it's going to be a while. The way I'm seeing the world right now, I'm kind of giving up hope of it being this year. I was kind of hoping it would be this year. So what I'm telling people is just work, do a part-time job or something, and just put some money in the bank. So when you get over here, you got some money to kick around. You know, and that's probably the greatest advice I can probably give you. You know, let's see. Jason says, great going through North Carolina mountains to get a load. Okay, there we go. And see, Brian Adams says, hi from the UK. There we go. We got somebody from the UK here. Let's see. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, will the business try to get back all that they lost during, let's see, will the businesses try to get back all that they lost during the lockdown at once? I don't think they'll be able to do it all at once, but if we start getting a lot of people in here, some of the tourist places might really open up and get blasted really fast when people come in on the tourist visas, but they won't make up all that money. They lost too much. Marco here says, what is the PHP to US dollar now? I think last I heard, I could be wrong on this, I heard it was 50.40 to 1. That's what somebody just told me just recently, so I haven't checked it to verify that, but that's what I just heard a couple minutes ago somebody said. So that's what I heard in one of my comments on my page, but I didn't check it, so don't shoot the messenger, you know. Jason wants to fly now too. Let's see. Jack Redmond, gonna fly to Lake Atalan in Guatemala in September to December, then come to the Philippines. Guatemala is beautiful, man. I used to go down to Belize all the time, and I used to have a girlfriend down there that was from Guatemala. She was Guatemalan and Mexican. She was a nice person, really nice lady. We almost got married, but she had different ideas than I did, and it just didn't work out, you know. Jeff Poy's Adventures. Hello, Steve. Good evening. How you doing, Jeff Poy? I take it you have your own YouTube page? Let's see. Brooke Schneider. Hello from Largo. How you doing, Brooke? What's going on? Let's see. What else we got? You guys Just keep shooting questions, guys. I'll answer them. We can talk about just about anything on here. We're up to 31. We're moving up fast tonight, so we got a lot of good people on here. So we can try to keep the more people, the better, because we can keep the conversation going. Jack Redmond says, I'm married to a Filipino, so shouldn't have too many issues with entry. No, you shouldn't. Actually, if you're married to a Filipino, you should have easier entry. If you have a Balikbayan visa, you should be able to get in here sooner or later. You know, some Balikbayans are being allowed in here now. I don't follow up on that Balikbayan thing too much, so I'm usually more of a SRV guy, so I follow up on that more. But I know that they're letting more and more people back in here slowly but surely, and they're doing that green lane, but the U.S. isn't on there. Jay Goldstein says, since Philippines isn't open yet, I went to Phuket for the sandbox model. It's been painless. I've been here for 14 days now and can travel throughout Thailand effortlessly. That's great. I wish we could do that here. I wish everybody could come here and just we could open up and go back to normal. Martin Harvey says 50.36. So I was about right. It's about 50.40 or something like that. Maybe it did hit the 40 thing, Let's see. DR says, Steve, hello from Washington State. Jim Munger says, hi, Steve. Moving there soon. Just looking for any thoughts on schooling choices for 11 and a 14-year-old. Signed up for international K through 12 online for now. Yeah, schools here are they're okay if you go to a private school. My daughter here, she went to a private school, my girlfriend's daughter. I call her my daughter because she's basically like my daughter. She's going to nursing school now. Send her to a private school. It's not that expensive. Willie White says, good day. Normal Boys of Steve, I just want to know if you, American living in the Philippines using SRV, do you need to pay tax in the Philippines? Well, that depends. Our pensions, we don't have to pay taxes on, okay? So no, we don't have to. If we work in the Philippines, because as a SRV, we're allowed to work here, then yeah, we have to pay taxes. There's certain things you have to pay taxes on, certain things you don't. But as a pensioner, no, you don't have to. Chris Straley says, I'm a U.S. veteran. Should I start the visa process in the States or wait until I arrive in the PI? Well, Chris, you're asking a question that it's different for every type of visa. Now, the SRV visa has to be finished over here, but everything has to be started over there. So I don't know if you're talking about the SRV visa, which I would take that you probably are. You need to get all the apostles and the police reports and all that stuff over there. Then you come over here and you finish it over here. Okay, so that's about the best answer I can give you unless you get more into details. Some visas you can go through the embassy over there, but I'm not sure which one you're talking about. And I'm more up on SRV visas than the other ones, like I said. Jeff Poise Adventures says, future YouTube channel, Steve. Just learning the process. Gonna vlog my journey, preparing for my retirement and move to the Philippines. There you go. It takes a while. You need to get a couple of big videos out there, something really big. And that's what happened to me. I had a couple of videos, throw me over the top, and that's what got me monetized. So I was really lucky. I almost gave up. So don't give up. It takes a while. Brooke Snyder, have you heard anything about a bubble opening on the island of Boracay? You know something, Brooke? I heard rumors about that they were possibly thinking about letting people come in here. I haven't ever verified that yet, because usually, if they're working on something like that, they're not working on all the other stuff that they should be working on. But I did hear about that. I did hear a rumor about that, but I don't know. I think it's a possibility, but I think it'd be kind of crazy, because I think they should be opening up other things to people that are fully vaccinated, rather than just open up Boracay. I mean, if you're fully vaccinated, why not let these people in? They have to go under a 7-day quarantine already, so if they're carrying anything, that's probably not on them anymore after 7 days, Because that's why they're quarantining people with vaccinations, because they're worried that they're carriers, okay? That maybe they have something on their skin or whatever. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. Let's see. Norma Borgia says, thank you, Steve. Answer my question. You're welcome, Norma. Michael L. says, so when is the 20K US dollar actually due for the SRRV? That is due, okay, it's about a week before you come. You transfer it to the bank, which is usually like BDO. They have a couple of banks they work with. Then what happens is when you get to the bank, you fill out all the paperwork, okay, and then they put it in the account. And if you send more, like I think like you can send more and open up a personal account at the same time. But you want to talk to your agent about that, okay? And this is why I tell people use my agent because she's really good and she doesn't charge you extra. She gets paid by the PRA. So just make sure you remember that, you know. But the 20,000 US, if you're going that route, that's the expensive route, you know, then that's totally different. Okay, so that's gonna be like I said, you're gonna pay about a week or two before you leave. It goes to BDO. You do a bank transfer. You get here, you sit down with your agent, and they do all this stuff. Okay, but you have to follow. There's a lot of paperwork and little glitchy things, and if you miss one thing, you miss out a lot because you might have to go back to the States to get that redone, something redone. If like apostles, all that stuff has to be done, and it has to be fairly fresh, all the paperwork. Okay, so let's see. Chris Straley, thanks. Yes, SR. Okay, that's what I figured, Chris. I wasn't sure though. Brooke Schneider, Steve-O, girlfriend said that the garbage pickup is once a month. Is that true? Is there recycling there? Do you have dumps that you could take? Let's see, dumps that you could take stuff to. Well, here's the answer to that. I think it gets picked up once a week where I live. I never heard once a month. I think they pick it up once a week, according to what my girlfriend said. And as far as recycling, yeah, we have recycling. There's guys that come around and they've recycled plastic and they take it and they'll pay you for it. I let them take it because usually they're guys that are sickly or disabled or something like that. So why would you not just give it to them? You know what I'm saying? So it's best to just give it to them. We have a guy here, he had a stroke, and actually I give him money to take it, you know? So I just give him extra money. I help him out. We've helped him out a few times with medical stuff too. Jim Unger, thanks, Steve, for the school info. Might swing through your area and check it out. Like the idea of being close to Manila. Yeah, Jim, my area is good for schools, okay? Schools and hospitals. So we got a lot of that around here. And it's good for, if you move right to my street, man, it's even better because of the fact that you can go every place really easy. Watch that video that I showed those 4 apartments, okay? Because you can walk out your door, literally hop into a jeepney, and they'll drop you off at the same spot when you come home. Right in front of your place. So that's about as best as you can get. Norma says, how much do you need to put in the bank so you can avail SRRV visa? Well, Norma, each one's different. There's the military one, which you only have to put in $1,500. If you were served in the military, got an honorable discharge, you can get that one for $1,500 and you pay $1,400 application fee, so it's about $2,900. Then they have another one with $10,000, then they have another one with $20,000 for people that aren't military. So it varies. Okay, Jeff Poy's Adventures. I may have missed it, but could you share your agent's info again? If you send me an email at steven5975@yahoo.com, Steven is with a V. I'll send it to you, okay? And would like to use a him. It's a her. It's Mary Rose Baranda, okay? She's really, really good. It might be in the description also of one of the videos if you go back a ways, but it's been a while since I've done an SRRV video. But if you go back a little ways, you'll find one, and she's usually in there, okay? James Corlow, hello, retiring EOY, and we are planning to move to Bacolod. Wife wants to wait until COVID is better under control. Looks like less than 4% are vaccinated. Do you know when the PI might hit the 70%? Yeah, we were just talking about that. I honestly believe, James, that it won't be till December. You know, a lot of people don't want it. I don't even know if we'll hit 70%, to be honest with you. But they're going to have to open sooner or later. There's a lot of people that are getting COVID too. Zora says, hi, Stephen. Nice to see you live. How you doing, Zora? Brooke Snyder, are schools going to open for in-class teaching? Still Zoom? I heard September 13th they're supposed to open up, but that's, tentative, I guess, right now. But that's what they said, September 13th or somewhere in September. I thought they said September 13th. That was news from today, actually. Smoky Mountain Modeler, will the average Westerner fit in the back of a Jeepney, or do you wait for one with the front seat open? You know something? I fit in the back, and it's kind of cramped there. You have to duck your head down, and you're fitting in between all these people. I try to either get the back seat or the front seat, or I usually don't ride. You know, I don't like to sit in the middle of people and stuff like that. I just don't feel comfortable. I like to be near the back, even though the smoke blows in there and stuff like that. I have my mask on, so it really doesn't matter. But I mean, that's the way I feel about it. I like getting the front seat. I usually get the front seat because of where I live. Because by the time they turn around, and this is the bypass where they turn around to restart their route again, it's empty. They've already emptied out. So they're just starting to fill back up again. So I usually get the front seat about 90% of the time. Okay, so I'm really, really lucky as far as that goes. And if I'm at the mall and I'm waiting to come back, I'll jump in the other Jeep next to the Jeep waiting for the other one to fill up so I can get the front seat. And it's worth it for me to do that, you know. It's more comfortable, it's breezier, and it's bigger, and I have more room. My girlfriend usually sits right directly behind me, you know, so it works out good. Brian Adamson says, I see you're building a new Clark City where they had the Sea Games. Heard they will use it as a backup for the government if any disaster hits Manila. Sounds interesting if true. Yeah, I haven't heard any of that stuff, but there's a lot of good stuff going on up in that Clark area, you know. Ray Bishop says, do you know if reserves count as military SRRV? If you got an honorable discharge, I would think that, yeah, as long as you served at least 90 days in the reserves active or something like that, I think you could do it. You could definitely contact that lady and ask her. But usually most reservists have at least 90 days in there, you know, active duty of some sort. So if you do, I would say do it, you know, yeah. Let's see, we're up to 58 people. We got 12 thumbs up. Let's see, we got some more questions here, guys. We can shoot through some more. Let's see. But Smoky Mountain Model, to get back to your thing about the Jeepneys, it's worse than the tricycles. So just keep that in mind. Tricycles I have a hard time with. Sam LaBarbas Jr. says, hi, Steve, enjoying your videos. Thanks, Sam. Thurston Howell III, I can find a gooder lady there, or is woman all over? You want to know something? Women everywhere in the world are pretty much the same. You're going to meet bad women here, and you're going to meet good women here. But I think when you meet a good woman here, you're going to meet a really good woman. Versus back in the States, I think there's a lot more problems with women, and it's harder for men to get along with women because of feminism and stuff like that. And some of that hasn't trickled over here much. It's starting to. But I just believe that the women over here act like women of the 50s and 60s. And it's just, they're just better. You know, and not to say that there aren't bad women here, because there's some atrocious women here. Don't get me wrong. There are. But there's a lot more better women over here than back in the States. Rick DeVries says, good morning, Steve. Rick from Alberta. How you doing, Rick? Still waiting for the Philippines to open. Any ideas? Yeah, I think December or later, you know. Let's see. Prairie Mark says, I am 6. See, Smoky Mountain Model. So a Grab ride might be easier option. Actually, Grab's awesome over here. You know, I use Grab all the time up in Manila. I mean, you guys see my videos where I go up to Manila and I do the videos. I usually take the bus up there, and in the afternoon, I don't like to take the bus back because I usually get a seat and there's somebody hanging over me, and you can't sleep because they're right in your face. And I just take a Grab back, and you know, it might cost me 1,200 pesos or 1,500 pesos, depending on who the driver is. I usually give them 1,500 because of the tip and stuff like that. And it's worth it for me to come back that way. I'll pay the $30 and come back, you know. I mean, it's just worth it. Let's see. Prairie Mark says, I am 6 foot 4 inches and use a cane. Is it kind of hard to get situated in the tricycle? It is kind of hard to get situated in the tricycle, but I can still do it. Yeah, Mark, I can only imagine. It is kind of difficult. I'm 6 feet and I have a hard time, so I can't imagine 6'4". Michael L. says, even Kipling knew that Oriental women were better. Just read Road to Mandalay. Let's see. James Corlew says, Steve, I have heard that dental is really cheap in the PI and that cleanings cost around $15 to $20. That seems extremely cheap. Actually, sometimes it's cheaper than that. Sometimes it's like around 500 pesos, which is about $10. But it depends on who you see. Okay, so I go to De La Salle University Hospital. I think it's about 500, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what I paid last time. It's cheap though. Peter Ramstead says, but is it more or less open? Just new quarantine for a week in an approved hotel? Is it more or less open? Yes, yes, yes and no. I mean, we still have to check in. We still have to wear masks. We still have to wear our shields. We still can only stay in the mall for a certain amount of time. But yeah, more or less it's open. Some of the hotels are starting to open up a little bit more. Some of the places to go on vacation for people that live in the Philippines, things like that. Yeah, it's happening here. You know, the question is, will they allow the tourists over here? That's the key, which I'm not sure. I think after December. Let's see. Wah San says, does rich Filipino guys have to help their spouse's family, or this applies only to expats? Yes. Yes, sure. You know, that's just it's a cultural thing over here. And, you know, if you talk to your girlfriend in advance and she knows that you're not that wealthy, she will abide by the rules. If you tell her you can't afford to help her family much, maybe a little, you know, and just be honest with her and say, look, I don't want you to get mad at me. You know, this is the way it is. If you don't like it, too bad. I'll help a little bit. That's it. And that's the best you can do, you know, because you're not going to give up all your money and then you suffer because you're retired and you want to live a good life. Otherwise, I wouldn't get married, you know, if I didn't, you know. So just be aware of that. My girlfriend's never asked me for money for her family. I usually help them out a little bit on my own when they see there's a need. But I don't give them a lot. I give them a little bit, you know. Abdul says, hi, best regards from Saudi Arabia. Things are getting difficult in Philippines. Do you think you can live forever in the Philippines? Yes. I don't think it's that difficult here. I think, you know, some things are getting tough politically as far as China and stuff like that. But that's about it. But I don't think it's getting tough. I don't think it's any tougher than any other time over here. The Philippines has always had something kind of rough or tough going on all the time anyway. It's just kind of in the background. It just becomes background noise after a while. Ellen Moniz says, make 59 tomorrow and just waiting a couple more years before I plan to the Philippines, maybe at 62. Let's see. So you're going to come here at 62? Yeah, that's a good time. I mean, if you're starting to collect Social Security or something and you got enough money. Jim Unger says, sending the wife and kids over in mid-September. I will follow them in January. So I might try and contact you personally when I get there. Sure, Jim. Yeah, feel free. You know, I can meet up with you or something, or you can call me on the phone or whatever. If you are moving to my area, let me know. You know, I can probably assist you a little bit. You know, I don't have all the time to work because I have a lot of stuff that I do, but I mean, I can help you for, you know, sometimes like a half a day or a few hours or something like that. Brooke Snyder says, girlfriend explained about the massages people get when they are not well. Hands-on medicine, I think. Do you get that ever? Actually, you want to know something, Brooke? I went the other day to get a massage here, okay? And I go to a legit place here, okay? It's a, you know, the ones that don't have the happy endings anyway. And it's right down the street from my house. And I pay about $10 for 2 hours, okay? And they cracked my back, and it's not like a machine gun, because my back was really sore. And it went brrr, like that. Just like about 4 of them must have popped all at the same time. And I walked out of there feeling like $1 million. So yeah, some of the massage parlors here are pretty good at what they do, and they know what they're doing, and they go to school for that for about 6 months. So yeah, I swear by the massage parlors here. And you know, a lot of the massage parlors here get a bad name, a bad rep. The majority of places here are legit places. You know, I just want people to know that, because, you know, everybody in the massage parlor industry gets a really bad rap, and it's kind of sad. Only about 10% of the places are bad. Okay, so just FYI. Prairie Mark, it seems pretty quiet and peaceful for me where I live, especially since I read an article that said the Philippines was the most dangerous of any nation. Does anyone even believe it? I don't believe that. No. You know, Mark, I know there's islands down near Mindanao that are really dangerous, and I know parts of Mindanao are really dangerous. But I would say that the majority of the Philippines is pretty safe for most expats. If you stay north, on the northern half of the Philippines, you're going to be fine. That's what I tell people. I know people they go down to Davao and they stay around Davao and they're fine. And that's okay because Davao is pretty safe. But I mean, I tell people to try to stay north, and that way you're better off. Palawan is safe. That's another safe place. But I tell people Mindanao and the islands around Mindanao, you have to be a little careful. Let's see, Eric Bone says, it's a Filipino thing to help family if you're able to. Foreigners think it's just about them and their monetary situation. It's not. Filipinos help their family members if they are able to do so. Yes, it's very true, Eric. And we do the same in my family too. We help when we can, and we help with what we can, okay? And everybody in my girlfriend's family is kind of like my family. I look at them as like they're my family too. They're my responsibility kind of. And I help them with what I can, and they know that I'll give them what I can, and not beyond that. I will not take from my happiness because, I came here to retire and to be happy, and I made sure that they know that. But I make enough money over here that I can help them, and I'm glad that I can help them. And actually, this channel even helps me help people. I help people outside the family. I donate tons of money to different people on the streets and stuff like that. And I'm glad that I can do that, and the channel helps me do that. Let's see. Norma says, Palawan is a safe province. Yes, it is. Brooke Snyder, Steve-O, would you ever consider a vacation home as a second residence? Do many people have those? Yes. Other than Tagaytay, where would these be? Let's see. You're talking about a vacation home. I thought you were talking about going back to the U.S. or something. There are people that go back to the U.S., but yes, there are people that have second homes here too. Some people that are well off. But would I have a second home? No, because it's just, I don't get out. I travel all over the place anyway. I'm always on the road doing something, going up to Manila or going someplace, it seems like. And some days I'm stuck here at home and I get really bored out of my mind here. But we always travel. We go to Batangas, places like that. But would I get a second home? No, because I like to go to different places. And I go down to Tanza Oasis. That is kind of my second home, even though we have to pay to stay there each night and stuff like that. Tanza Oasis is a good hotel. Eric Bone, yeah, I like that, Steve. If you can, it's nice to help. Let's see, Eric Brown, bravo. Zura, can I get the SR visa if I have enough money in stocks only, not pension? You can, Zura, but you have to put $20,000 in that fund then. Okay, it's a totally different thing. Okay, so just FYI, I would talk to them about that if I don't know that much about the $20,000 visa. I don't think you need to show any income or anything like that, and then you can still come over here, But I deal mostly with the military visa on that. I know I have a few people that are doing it, but I'd never really have to help people that much with that visa because usually the lady that I have that does it, she does all that stuff. She takes care of. I help on the flip side and help people get their paperwork together. I can, like if you go to do that, contact me. I can help you with all the paperwork, the apostles and all that stuff and tell you what to do. But the lady that I work with, she's really, really good. But contact her and not the Philippine Retirement Authority. Because once you start working with the Philippine Retirement Authority, then you can't work with an agent. And the agents are free. They get if you work with my agent, she gets paid by the PRA once she finishes helping you. Okay, so I tell people work with her versus the PRA because the PRA is not going to go around with you. They're not going to do things with you. So just FYI. Layla Phelan says Stevie Ray Vaughan visa. Yeah. And Mr. Darcy says, haha, Layla. Eric Bowen says, I cannot see any hope coming to the Philippines anytime soon. My girl sometimes finds it hard coping with little hope with the travel situation. Eric, I feel that, sometimes. I don't give up hope. I do see things moving slowly along. I know the Philippines will probably be the last country in line, you know, and it's kind of sad to say that, but I honestly believe that, you know, sadly, because it usually is, you know, and the government just kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say too much about the government, but I mean, it's just the way it works over here, you know, good or bad, you know, and I don't want to say anything bad about the government here because they, you know, they let me in here and I'm really thankful that they did let me in here, but it just kind of, you just kind of learn to live with it when you come here, you know, and it's just the way it is. And there's other countries like that too, you know, so the Dominican Republic is the same thing. And a few other ones. Belize is not like that. They're pretty fast on things. Brooke Snyder says 25 kg bag of rice is only $25. I'd make sure the family would get that if need be rather than giving the money. Yeah, sometimes it's best doing that. I mean, sometimes they need money for medical issues or something like that. But medical issues here, man, you go to the doctors, it's like $6 to see a doctor, you know, and in the medicine. So. Mech Dayao says, "Hey Steve, does the Philippine tax you? They do not tax my pensions. No, nope. With the SRIV, they do not. If I went to work regular job over here, yes, they would tax me. You know, things like that." Norma Borges says, "Steve, hope you can recommend us a good agent when the tourist is open in the Philippines." Yeah, I have an agent already, Norma, that does the SRIV. You know, so I mean. She's already she's in the description of some of my videos on the SRRV. So if you're looking for her, or you can email me and I'll send it to you. Okay. Saint Simon, is it easy to open a bank account on arrival with a view to deposit funds for SRRV visa? I'm not sure. With a view. What about on arrival? Saint Simon, when you open your account for your SRRV visa, the way that works is this, okay? I want to make sure this is clear. When you do it, you have to do it by wire from outside the country. You cannot do it on arrival here. So what happens is you go to the bank that you make the deposit, okay, through the wire transfer, and then you go there, you just open it up with the agent, usually, like that my agent would bring you there, or one of her agents would bring you to the bank. You'd open your account, and that's how you do the security account for the SRRV. That's the way that works. But it has to be sent from outside the country. You can't bring that money in here. Because you can't bring over, you know, you can't bring, like if you were doing the $20,000 visa or the $10,000 visa, you know, you can't carry in that kind of money. So it has to be done, you know, wire transfer. They give you a paper that tells you how to do it. It's easy. I mean, I sat with my agent. We did it. We opened up the account really fast. Mine was only $1,500 because it was the one for the veterans. So it worked out really good. See, travel discovery. How often do you buy from Lazada? Some months I buy like 20 or 30 things, and some months I buy nothing. So I probably average about 2 things a month, maybe, somewhere around there. Norma Boyes says, "Okay, Steve, thank you so much." Yeah, Norma, if you want to do that, let me know. You know, I'll always help you. If you need to do a SRV, you know, for your boyfriend or whatever, let me know. James Corlew says, "Steve, plan to get a 13A wife as dual citizen visa. Have read where that would allow me to legally purchase a firearm, as I really enjoy." You can't, man. You can't legally own a firearm here unless you're a citizen. I mean, I keep hearing people talking about this, but you can't. You can go to if you want to go to the target range, you can rent guns here. Okay, it's just FYI, because there's a place down the street here from me, and they'll take you out to the target range. I guess once a week they go there or something. You rent a gun or whatever, and you can go shooting, and you can shoot just about any kind of gun you want. They have all kinds of guns, you know. St. Simon says, "Okay, thanks for the info." You're welcome, Simon. Brooke Snyder, Steve-O, I think that I have to be in the PH for 6 months before I can open a bank account. Is that your understanding? Brooke, if you do the SRRV, you can open it right away. Okay? If you do the tourist visa, I think you got to wait 90 days or 6 months. I think there's a waiting period on that, from what I understand. But I don't think it's 6 months. I think you have to have your ACR card. Okay? Once you get your ACR card, I think you can pretty much open it up. And each bank is different. Okay? So one bank will tell you one thing, and then you go to another bank, and they'll tell you another thing. But I think it's 90 days or 6 months, yeah. And you have to have your ACR card if you're here on the tourist visa. But if you're on the SRV, it's different, because when you send in the money for the SRV, you can send an extra to open up your account then. So for you guys doing the SRV, ask the agent about that, about opening an account, because if you want to do it, that's the time to open it so you can get both accounts open. So you'll have your security account and you'll have your regular personal account, which is good. It's good to have. Michael L says, James Colu, they will not let you legally own a firearm in the Philippines. That's correct. Maso, good day, Steve. Sounds like a few vloggers are perhaps going to have some issues with the Philippines government making dollars selling goods on their YouTube channel. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to do that. That's why I don't sell goods on my channel. I don't do any of that stuff. That's not cool. But yeah, I heard people are having problems on that. It's best to just keep it as a YouTube info channel. That's what I do. I just help people. Michael L, you have to be a citizen of the Philippines, and for us, Farang, dual citizen does not exist. So you have to be a citizen of... Let's see, Brooke Snyder, I've heard that a visitor is allowed to bring in 10,000 US with them to the PH. Yes, but you can't bring more than that, not even a penny more. If you have a nickel in your pocket that you forgot about in your wallet, or it slipped into something, they can actually take that 10,000 away. So you want to be careful. I tell people not to bring more than 9,500, just to be careful. It's best to just take the money out of your ATM. I wouldn't want to be walking around Manila at night. Usually that's when you're in Manila, getting off the plane and then jump in a taxi and then get robbed of something. Because it could happen. Most of the taxi drivers are pretty good, but you just got to be careful. We do hear stories every so often, but most of the time you're not going to run into any problems up there. But just be careful. Hide it on your person. Have a money belt too. And they're going to probably look at your money belt, tell them how much money you got in there or whatever. But have a money belt, And when you're at the airport, before you leave the airport, go into the bathroom, and that's when you put the money in your money belt. Don't put it in there before, because they're going to see it when you're going through the x-ray machines and stuff like that. But you're not going to fit $10,000 in there. But you could fit quite a lot of that in there. But just be careful. So at least you have emergency money if you ever do get robbed or something like that. Just a thought, And as soon as you can, deposit that somewhere, but don't be walking around with that kind of money. Have it strapped to your belly or something like that with one of those money belts that are easy to use. I have one of the ones that's like a regular belt, and then I have one that's kind of straps to your belly, and you could strap like a thing of cash there and wear like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt over it or whatever. That's probably the best, because then you could just take it out and show them when you're going through the x-ray machines. But when you get to the Philippines, you don't go through x-ray machines. So once you get past all that stuff in the United States, you can kind of put that stuff, hide it on you or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Eric Bones says, if you got no trouble with banking and all this stuff, my girls are corporate banker in Makati. There you go. Michael L says, Maso, those are in cities starting with the letter D. Mec Deo says, so Steve, how much will it cost me to get a $2,500 from my pension? How much will it cost? Western Union, if you have an ATM card and the bank is free for ATM transactions like my bank, it doesn't cost me a nickel to get my money over here. If that's what you're asking. I think that's what you're asking. So you're up to 94 with 31 thumbs up. Elma Lee OFW China says, popping up for thumbs up, and happy weekend to you and your fam, Steve. Stay healthy all and get vaccinated. Thanks, Elma. James Crollo, Michael L, thanks for the info. This is the hardest part. Peter Ramstead says, still nothing new regarding the divorce situation in the Philippines. Actually, there is. Okay, there is some new news. No, there is a new bill filed. This is the new news. Before, Peter, you had to pretty much say that you were nuts, and you had to see a psychiatrist. Okay, but they alleviated that part, so it kind of speeds things up a little bit faster. Now, this is according to what my girlfriend told me. She heard this just recently, okay, and she was telling me about it in case any of the guys had, situations where they were with a girl that was married, trying to get a divorce, or trying to work that out or whatever. Yeah, it is supposedly faster. I'm not sure if it's cheaper though, but it should be cheaper because you don't have to pay now for the for the psychiatrist and stuff like that. But I'm not sure how much cheaper. So you may want to negotiate that with a lawyer or an attorney if you're going through something like that. Your girlfriend's married or something. You want to have that resolved before you come here, which I wouldn't even get involved with that over here. It's very touchy. Be careful. Travel discovery. Are you planning on to build a house with your girlfriend soon? Actually, she's gonna get a house from the city pretty soon, and I'm not sure if we're gonna move there, if she's gonna rent it or whatever, because it'll be her house. She can do what she wants with it. We'll probably fix it up. I'll see how it is there, if I like it or not. It might be an end unit. We could put a small pool in there. If I can do that, then I'm moving. I'm in. Sinful says, "Good evening, Steve." But travel discovery, to get back to that. To build a house, no. I mean, I make enough money. We could probably do something like that. But we have a lot of money going out between college and stuff like that, and I have some other stuff going out. We live pretty good where we live now. I'm happy living here. Actually, I'm very happy living here. James Corlow says, "Ups, hardest part of moving to the Philippines is giving up my firearms." James, I gave up about 25 to 30 firearms when I left. A lot of them I gave out to friends, and some I sold. But it was really, really difficult because a lot of those firearms were derringers and really tough weapons to ever get back again, and I'll probably never see them again, even if I ever did get back, which I won't. I don't have plans on going back, but if I ever did go back, it'd be hard to get some of those back because they're difficult to find, and I really love those weapons. And I had a nice AR-15 that I really liked too, and I had it all fixed the way I wanted it and everything, and it's gone. And it's part of coming to the Philippines, I guess. Maso says, Michael L., it would seem the rules are fairly straightforward on making money. Why would you want to risk being deported and blacklisted is beyond me. Exactly, Just live off your pensions, I mean, I make enough off my pensions. I live pretty decent, and I get the money off of here, so I'm happy. What is the max dollars you can withdraw from the ATM and the PH at one time? Most of the banks over here are $200, but you can take out 200, 200, and 100. So you can take out 500, provided your bank back in the U.S. allows that. So just FYI. Okay, so you can go 200, 200, and 100, and it equals up to 500. That's what I do. So I can take out 500 in any day. Okay? Let's see. Brooks Snyder says, Steve-O, do they accept $100 U.S. bills there? Or should a visitor bring 50s and 20s? Yeah, they accept. They don't accept it at a store, but you can go to there's places where you can exchange your money at Walmart. Here, you're coming to where I live, so it's easy to tell you. You go to Walmart, and there's a place there where you can exchange your money at Walmart. Okay, and Tracy Martinez, you go in there. You can bring in 100s, 50s, 20s, whatever. All of them are good. They like them in good condition, unripped. So if you're going to bring money over here, make sure it's fairly new. It's best to leave your money in the U.S. and make sure you tell your bank you want your ATM card working in the Philippines, and start doing that before you come here. And usually every year you got to call your bank and tell them to fix it or whatever. Before you come, Brooke, make sure you talk to me like about 2 months before, and we'll have a good talk, and I'll set you straight on everything you need to do before you leave. We can have a good talk. You know that. You can always call me anyway, so don't worry about that. And I'll get you straight as far as what you need to do before you leave, okay? But you should also get a power of attorney. The power of attorney is important, Brooke, because if you ever need anything done at your bank, that power of attorney can walk into your bank and pull money out and send it to you via Western Union. But Brooke, also open up an account when you get here, like a BDO or whatever, and then you can just transfer it by Western Union. It's easy, and it doesn't cost that much. See, Smoky Mountain says, McDale, Charles Schwab refunds your ATM fees. Yes, they do, and my credit union does too. Metro Credit Union in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Maso, Michael L. Yes, play within the rules, and you shouldn't draw the crabs. I agree. Zura says, with SRV visa, non-military, how much will it cost every year? Zura, I'm really up on the other ones. More so than. I'm up on the military ones more so. I'm not sure because I don't deal with those. I know it's more because I only pay $10 a year. Those ones are more. I want to say like it's 110 or 360, one of those two. I want to say 360, but I could be wrong, you know. But it's you're here forever. You don't have to leave, you know. I think it was 360 for 3 years, and I think it's 110 a year. But I don't. I honestly couldn't tell you because never had to deal with those ones that much. It was always with the military ones I dealt with. I do have a few people going through on that, but I don't ask them what it costs to do that because 99% of the people I deal with are all the military ones. But I wish I could answer that for you. I'm sure you can go on to the Philippine Retirement Authority and check on that. It'll tell you on there for sure. It's on there. Or you can talk to the lady that I work with, and she'll tell you. You know, if you email her. See, Brendan says ATM question. P4K is the absolute max. Let's see. So you're talking about eight. Let's see. That's 800. Maybe with Brendan, maybe with you it is because maybe you have more that you're allowed to take out through your bank. Most banks allow 500 unless you get that approved through your bank. So you can probably get more, yeah. That might be the max for you, but I noticed most of the banks around here, they cut you off at about 500. Because I've tried taking out more and they don't let you, Brendan. Just FYI. So I don't know how you're getting that out. Maybe it's your bank, or maybe you're talking about taking money out of your Philippine bank, which is different. But we're talking about from the U.S. Okay, because I know around here it's only 500 at all the banks around here. Boogie backwards says, "Hi Steve, you can have a crossbow if you get a permit for it." Yeah, but that's not going to do you much good, you know. Michael L. Boogie back is even a type of crossbow. Let's see, they're talking about crossbows here. Brendan Doherty says, for a single transaction, that is. Yeah, I've never seen a single transaction go through at like any of the BDO ATMs here go through like that, Brendan. Never, ever. I've tried on the other bank machines too. It doesn't work. So I don't know how you're getting that done. Maybe it's your bank lets that go through or something like that or something. But yeah, most places don't let that go through. So I don't know, you know, how you're doing that or whatever. But everybody I know over here says 200 is like the max. You know, I see very few people get more than that out. I don't know how, if they do, I don't know how they're doing it. You know, Maso, FYI, make sure you have credit cards and don't carry both at the same time. If you only have one and the machine eats it or you lose it, you will end up in Ship's Creek, he says. Yeah, I put if you guys do carry credit cards, make sure you put the switch on there too, on your apps on your phone, so you can shut it off if it gets stolen. And only turn it on when shut it off when you use it. Shut off the lock. Have it locked all the time. And when somebody ships it to you, have them give you all the numbers so you can type it in when you get a new card, and then shut it off when they ship it to you, and then turn it on when you get it, when you go to use it. Okay, so that way there, if it gets lost in the mail or something, they can't use it. So just FYI. Brandon Doherty, foreign card, ATM, HSBC, or CTB bank allow. Yeah, see, that's some of those banks most of those banks aren't around where I'm at. So you're probably using a bank up in Manila or something like that, or some bank. I don't see most of those things that you're talking about there, like HSBC or CTBC. But yeah, I've tried on many of these different machines and it just doesn't go. But yeah, you're lucky if you can get that out. But most of the time, I don't need that much money, so I don't worry about that. I transfer money by Western Union to my girlfriend's account. She pays all the bills, and you know I don't do too many ATM withdrawals, except for even when I buy things, I usually pay with the ATM card, use it as a credit card. Damian Corum says, does anyone do hog hunting trips in the PH? I've never heard of them here. I don't think we can't own a gun here, but I'm sure you could probably go on trips. I've actually seen hogs over in Batangas on the street, wild hogs out in the jungle and stuff like that. So they're here. I'm sure you could probably, go hunting if you could use a gun, but I'm not sure if you could use a gun. So, I mean, I don't know how to comment on that. Maybe if you're with somebody that has a license, maybe you can shoot too. I'm not sure. I just don't know that enough about the gun laws to even comment on that, except to know that you can't own guns over here. Mike's Philippine journey. Hey, Steve, just stopping by to say hello. How you doing, Mike? Damian Corum says, I'm from Alabama. Let's see. Brendan Doherty, of course there is a limit applied to your card by your bank back home. Yeah, there is. Usually it's like 500, but you can have that upped or changed or whatever. But the ATMs over here also have a limit too. That's why I say most of the ATMs over here it's $200 because they like to hit you up for extra fees, but then those fees get refunded by your bank or whatever. So I don't know how that works. If they're paying them, or if they have a deal with the bank just to knock them off or something. I'm not sure how that works, but I just know that I get it refunded. Smoky Mountain Modeler, should you use ATMs in a mall other than outside a bank? I recommend using them in the mall. I don't like to go to outside ATMs that much. I do on occasion, but I pull on the thing usually to make sure that it's not scanning my card or somebody's reading it or something. So you got to be careful. I always pull on that thing. It's usually green, the green thing that you put your card into, and it kind of sticks out a little bit. Pull on it, and it'll come out if it's not meant to be there. I just give it a quick tug, and that's what they tell you to do. Okay. Let's see. Aviation Safety says I can draw $1,000 per 24 hours. Navy Federal Bank, BPO ATM. That's good. I mean, I know some people can do it, but most of them you can't. I'm not sure why. I think some of the ATMs the smaller ATMs have limits, or maybe if it's a bank ATM, if you're going right into the bank itself, maybe they'll let you take out more. I'm not saying it can't be done, but the majority of ATMs here are $200 limit. I mean, anybody that lives over here will tell you that too, because I've tried taking out more and it just doesn't work. James Corlow, Steve, once we are living in PI, I plan to come back to the U.S. to go hunting with the nephews. I can bring back frozen meat can I bring back frozen meat? I wouldn't take meat in here, no. I'm not sure about that. I don't know what their customs rules are, but I don't think you can. You might be able to. You can try, but I would say no. If that would be my guess anyway. I'm just giving you my opinion, Brendan Doherty, ATMs typically can only issue a max 40 banknotes. Hence, here it's P40K. Let's see. Mecdeo, Steve, what bank do you recommend? I use BDO here. Everybody chooses different banks, but I find BDO to be like the biggest bank here, so I work with them. Michael L., I've heard hunting is not allowed in the Philippines, even for Philippine citizens. Yeah, I don't know that much about hunting here. I've never heard of anybody going hunting. Damian Coram, bow hunt hogs. There we go. Yeah. Norma Borja, I opened my dollar account, minimum $500. Let's see. Mike's Philippine journey. It is illegal to even own arrows or similar projectiles. It's an old law. You need a permit from your mayor. Yeah, I'd be careful about owning any type of weapon here, man, because each barangay and city and town and province has different laws. You want to really be careful with that stuff and check with an attorney or something like that. Let's see, we're up to 95 people and 43 thumbs up. Michael says, do you use outside ATMs, especially unguarded ones? Yeah, we were just talking about the skimmers, Mike. Michael, I always pull on the thing there if I do use one outside, and I usually only use one where there's a guard standing by. I won't just walk up to anyone. That I won't do. Mike's Philippine journey. You can't bring any poultry meat. Poultry or seeds. Yeah, meat, poultry, or seeds. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mike. That's why I said I wouldn't bring any. It's not worth it. Crypto and PI, you can bring meat as long as it is packaged. I brought some with me last time, Costco meat. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that, though. It kind of slows you down going through customs and stuff. Just be careful. You can buy meat over here, go to S&R or something like that. Michael L. says, import of meat without permit is not allowed. They are afraid of African swine flu, along with other livestock diseases. Actually, I think they've had the African swine flu over here. So there's a lot going on over here with stuff like that. You got to be really careful, guys. But I would stay away from bringing meat over. There's no reason to bring meat, especially when you got like S&R. You got what is it called? Rare Meats or whatever. That up in Manila, you can order meats from them. They have all kinds of fish, lobster, things like that up in Manila, and they'll ship it right down here, down to Tracy. And I'm not sure if they're down in Cebu in that area, but there's other places out there too that do that. You know. Let's see, guys. We're on the last question, last thing here, which is the one we just talked about, the meat. So if you guys got some more questions, shoot them up here. Let me get some more up on here. Otherwise, we're going to call it a night here. If we get normal, when you're talking about the minimum in the account, you're talking about the minimum 500 you need to have in the account, or are you talking about the minimum you can take out is 500 per day? Because mine is 500 per day, I believe. But if I send it by Western Union, it just goes like a snap. It's really easy. Let's see. Damien says, have a good evening. San Juan Union Vlog says, hi, Steve. I use BPI ATMs. I can get 20,000 pesos out in one transaction. That's pretty good. I know the ones around here are all like 200. Every single one of them that I've tried. You know, but that's good if you can take out 400 at BPI. I'll try that sometimes. I've actually tried them before. It was I could only take out like $200. You know, see, I'm only charged that 250 peso transaction fee. You need to select manual enter amount. There is no option. No, I know that. I know it only goes up to 10,000, but I've tried putting in like 20,000. I still couldn't get it to go through. It has a minimum, like the max is you can only take out 10K or whatever. But I'm gonna try some of these other places because BDO is very tough on that. But some people have said that some of the ATMs do let you take more out on BDO too. But let's see. Tyler Paul says, where in the Philippines you live? I live right near Manila. I live in Tracy Martires, just south of Manila. And Mech Deo says, Steve, what time do you start this stream? U.S. West Coast time. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think you're 3 or 4 hours behind the East Coast. I started about, it's about 10 in the morning East Coast time. So whatever, you could probably figure it out from there. I'm not sure. I think you guys are 3 hours behind. So, but yeah, I started about the same time every Saturday. So it's 10 p.m. Manila time. So whatever amount of time you are behind that. John Allen says, hi, Steve. What kind of house can I get for $1,000 US a month? 1,000. I mean, it depends where you are and what you're talking about. I mean, 1,000 US over here. There's people living off of that. I'm paying about $65, $70 a month for my house. There's no need to spend 1,000 US a month for a house over here. You can get in Trump Tower for about 1,000 a month in Trump Tower. You can get a studio or a 1 bedroom, in Trump Tower right in Manila. So just FYI, that's what it gets you. And in Manila, you can get really, be in a high-end apartment for 1,000 US. And there's some nice condos up there you can rent too for that. So you could definitely get in a gated community. You could be, wow. I mean, 220 gets you a 3 bedroom in a gated community with a public pool and stuff like that. 220, 240 in General Trias, and you can go into a high-end gated community for probably about 500 or 600. So, and there's apartments here, 1 bedroom apartments and a high-end condos, probably for about 400 to 600 with a pool, beautiful pools with guards. So that'll give you a rough guesstimate. See, we're at about 86 people, 49 thumbs up. James Corlo says, love to barbecue. Can you get ribs, pork, shoulders? Oh yeah, you can. You can get stuff like that if you can get them on Rare Meats, places like that, S&R. That's not a problem. You can get all that stuff. Tyler Paul says, where you live in the Philippines? Tracy Martires in Cavite. Mark Gomez, love your info, buddy. Thanks from all of us to you. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Michael L says 0700 Pacific time. Okay, it sounds about right. So you're about 3 hours behind then. Yeah, 7 a.m. West Coast. Prairie Mark, BPI limits 20,000 a day withdrawal. So that's good to know. I'm like limited all the time whenever I use my US card here, but I'm gonna have to try that. I'll try BPI and see if I can get that out, because last time it said no, you know. So after that, I just gave up. But I know with BDO, always $200. You know, that seems to be the max. Travel Discovery, 10 a.m. EST. Jim Unger in McMansion. Yeah, that'll get you in McMansion. Tyler Paul in Manila in condos, 1,000 is easy to spend. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's some nice condos in Manila. $1,000 will get you a nice place with a pool and stuff like that. Like I said, Trump Tower, $1,000, and I'm dead serious. That's for a studio in there. That's in a nice area too. San Juan La Union vlog. Yeah, BPI is the only ATM that I have that will allow this. I have tried most all other banks, and you are right. 10K is the limit on ATM withdrawals per transaction. Yeah, that's why I said it. I don't know how some people are getting more, but obviously they are somehow. Sir Liner, you've gotten 50,000 pesos out. I've gotten 50,000 pesos out of my BDO account ATM here in Davao City. Maybe it depends on location. It could, because I've heard other people have gotten more out of some of their ATM machines than others. I think it depends on where you are and stuff like that, and on the bank policies in your area. Smoky Mountain Modeler, where do you pay your rent every month? The lady comes to my house and it takes it from us. We usually pay in advance, so we don't have to, we don't have to deal with that much. So it's just kind of nice paying in advance and not worrying about it. We rent 2 condos anyway. I mean, not 2 condos, 2 apartments, I should say. We rent 2. We have some of my girlfriend's relatives stay in the other one. We pay for it because it's so cheap, That one's $60 a month. Tyler Paul says, I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, very nice, in Angeles City for $120 a month. Yeah, you can get some. There's some over in General Trias, same thing, about $120, $140 for a house, not an apartment, $140. That's with a pool. A public pool that's hardly ever used. San Juan La Union vlog. I'm no 50 for heads up. Everyone push that thumbs up. Thank you, San Juan La Union vlog. Bob Hackett says, hi Steve, is there a service in Mass that I can send ballot buying boxes? Yes, there is. I'm in NB South Coast area, but we'll go there. I have to. Let me see. I just lost it. I'm sorry. Now, I think you're talking about Massachusetts, if they do ballot buying boxes. Yes, they do, but I'm not sure the name of the company, but they do have it. If you look it up online, I'm sure you'll get something there. Because I know there's a lot of Filipinos in the Boston area working at the hospitals there. So they have ballot buying boxes there, if that's what you're talking about, Bob. But I'm not quite sure from reading what you wrote there. Wendell Davenport, hi Steve, good to see you. You're still living the dream. I'm always living the dream. I love it here. Tyler Paul, can I draw 50,000 pesos a day from Land Bank? I'm not really sure after what we just talked about, but maybe. I would say you're probably still up to that $200 limit or 10,000 pesos, and then you have to take out another 10,000 and 5,000. That's usually the way that they work it. But 500 is the max, at least for me. I mean, I think everybody's different on that because we just talked about that. Even San Juan La Union vlog says 200 is the limit. I've never heard of people taking out more than that except on here, what these people are saying. I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they're doing it. Martin Harvey says, Steve, have you heard news of what those ships north and west of PH are discharging into the water? Yeah, sewage. I heard about that. Yep. It's pretty rotten considering that they're not supposed to be here in the first place, Stephen Day, thanks for your memorial videos. Too often people forget. Yeah, Stephen, the funny thing about that is a good amount of those people are missing. I think it's like, what did I say, 61% or something like that are missing. They went back to the U.S., I guess, or something like that. The bodies got shipped back. Most of the ones that stayed behind are the unknown soldiers. Most of the family, but they left the memorials there, so those crosses are still there in memory of those people. So they wouldn't have to take all those crosses out and it would look kind of funky. Craig Jordan, are Zelle money transfers allowed in the Philippines? I'm not sure about Zelle. I've never heard of Zelle before. That's the first time I've actually heard that name. Like I said, I deal with Western Union. They're tried and true and trusted, and they've always worked for me, and I've never had any problems with the exception of they'll stop it thinking it might be a scam. So I call them up and they fix it within minutes, and it goes through. Jeff, thoughts on Bonifacio Global City? Is it a nice area to live? It's absolutely nice. Yes. You're right near that cemetery too, and it's a beautiful area. You're not too far from there. It's a beautiful area. Very beautiful area. Red Ranger. Red Ranger has entered the chat. How you doing, Red Ranger? Let's see. Surrey cases. Cebu Governor Jen. Why can't all politicians be as wise? Yeah, I don't know that much about her. I've heard her talking a little bit, and I heard everybody likes her down there. I don't know why, though. I haven't really followed her. Michael L., with an increasing amount of places in the Philippines that would accept credit cards, why would you need to withdraw more than 20 pesos at a time? Not sure if I would want to carry more than that. I kind of feel the same way. I don't take out that much money, Michael. I'm kind of like you, I guess. But occasionally you do have to, pay cash for something. But most of the time, if you're buying a big item here, you just kind of use your credit card, or I use my ATM card and it goes directly through and it works fine. But yeah, you're right. Most big places do take credit cards unless you're paying for something outside of the mall or something like that. You're buying something used or something like that. You're right. Smoky Mountain Modeler says they have Balak Buy and Shipper here in Knoxville. And Tyler Paul says Bonifacio Global City, if you want to live there, you might as well stay in the USA. It's the same thing. It's more money to live there. It's very expensive. Yes, it is. It's one thing I will say about BGC. San Juan La Union Vlog says, I heard that the VA in Manila is giving out the J&J vaccine. Have you been there to see what the... Yeah, they're still giving out the J&J vaccine. They were giving out another one. That's the latest one they're giving out. Okay, so that's the latest thing. And pretty soon they'll be covering caregivers if you want to... They're probably going to process caregivers. They're doing wives right now. Then they're going to move on to caregivers. So wives are going through right now. Then it'll be caregivers. Red Ranger says, I enjoyed your walk and talk video on the Pedro Hill Street. It brought back a lot of good memories. It was weird seeing everyone still wearing masks. It'll be nice when the mask mandate go away. Yes, it will. Definitely, J.A. Mag says, greetings from Washington State. Thank you, man. Tyler Paul says, J.A. Mag, where in Washington State you live? Eric says, good morning, Steve. How you doing, Eric? Let's see. Red Ranger says, yes, USA Embassy is giving away J&J vaccines at the U.S. Embassy VA. Veterans only. No, they're doing the wives now, I heard. I think that was as of today. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. As of now, no private citizen can get a vaccine. Yeah, I heard that they're doing the wives. So wives can get it, and next will be caregivers, if they have enough. Joe sent... They just gave 3.2 million J&J vaccines to the Philippines too. The U.S. did, so I'm sure that the caregivers will get some too. Joe San Augustine says, "Good evening, my fellow U.S. vet watching from Angeles City. How you doing, Joe?" Brooke Schneider says, "Steve-O, when you mention using a credit card, are you referring to a BDO Visa or U.S. Visa?" I'm talking about like a regular everyday credit card. It could be like Capital One card or Citibank or whatever, But also my ATM card is like, it says Visa or MasterCard on it. So you can use it like that and it just comes out of your account. I find it easier to use that. When I pay for meals, I always ask if I can pay with a credit card. And usually they say yes. If you're in the mall, most places accept it, It's just better to pay that way. Let's see, it's fully open up here in Seattle. Weird that some are masked, some aren't. Smoky Mountain Model says, you need to take care of business, Steve. Catch you next time. Oh, he needs to take care of business. Take care, everyone. J.A. Mag says, Tyler Paul, Seattle. Tyler Paul, Philippines better end this craziness about the quarantine because foreigners will go to Thailand instead. You're right, man. Let's see. Red Ranger, my latest gripe with the Philippines will take vaccines, U.S. money, and USA, but will not let most U.S. citizens into the Philippines. I agree, Red Ranger. Unfortunately, that's true. It's sad, but, that's kind of true. John Allen, I think they're waiting for the next administration to come in here, but I don't know. Everybody's kind of quiet about that because nobody wants to step on toes or anything, but that's just what I think that the U.S. is trying to do. John Allen, Steve, is it possible to find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a pool? It's possible, but it's very, very hard to find a 3-bedroom with 2 baths. You could find it with one bathroom, but with two, I think you're kind of, you know, you're you'd be lucky if you could find that. But they are around, but it's very hard to find. You'd have to put a good realtor on that, and you'd probably pay. In my area, you'd probably pay about 300 or less, probably 300, I would say, for something like that with a two bathroom in a gated community with a pool. If it's a private pool, you're talking way more. You're talking probably 900 or 1,000. You'd probably only find that in Tagaytay or something. Michael L. Amex or Chase, something that gives rewards. Cash gives no rewards. You're right. Some of those places give rewards, and they're pretty good rewards too. Greg Jordan, Steve, do you have to wear a face shield when you go out? I do have to wear them in the malls. You have to wear a shield and a mask. Outside the mall, you can get away with wearing just the face mask. I mean the the face mask itself, no shield. Sperlin, it was hello from Connecticut. J.A. Mag, your thoughts on growth in your area? I mean housing. There's a lot of housing growth around here, as you could see today on the video that I put out today with those 4 apartments. Those are popping up all over the place, by the way, in my neighborhood. And they're cheap. That one's going to go for about $80 for a 1-bedroom apartment. And you just walk out your door, jump on a Jeep, you can go to the Dasma Mall, you can go to De La Salle University Hospital, you can go anywhere on a jeepney, and it'll drop you off right in front of your house when you come back. So that's about the best you can get, that's pretty good. Sorry case, Singapore seems to have things figured out. Yeah, Singapore is doing good things, man, They're treating it like the flu, like you say. Berlin Edwards says, that's exactly what I want. A 3-bedroom, 2-bath, pool, gated community in an Iloilo. It's possible in Iloilo. I don't know, I was down in Iloilo back in the 80s, and I haven't been back there since, I think it's nice down there. It's a nice area. It's definitely different than what it was when I was there in the 80s. It's changed a lot. I heard it's much nicer now. So I think you could probably find that there pretty easily. Sam Wanley Union Vlog says, Steve, thanks for the help with the SRVVs. I got everything turned into the PRA via Rose. Been 5 days now. Fingers crossed it goes through. It'll go through. As long as you got everything done that she told you to do, it'll go through. Don't worry about it. If there's a paperwork glitch or something like that, she'll get you through it. She's really good like that. So don't worry about that. No problems there. Tyler Paul, how are the malls? Are they empty or full? Kind of like half empty. Today was actually a good. Was it today or yesterday? Yesterday was actually a good day at the mall. I think they seemed like they had a lot of people in there. The malls are starting to pick up a little bit from what they used to be. Okay. Mecdeo says, thanks for doing this, Steve. Helps giving a lot of people ideas about living happily and safe in the Philippines. Kudos. Thanks, Mecdeo. Brooke Snyder, Steve-O, have you noticed price increases due to inflation on items of food? Yes. On meats. A lot of things have gone up in price, but we're gaining on the dollar versus the peso. Instead of getting 47 to 1, we're getting more than 50 now. And it's supposed to go to 53, 54, 55, they're saying now, instead of what they were saying before, because they were expecting the dollar to crash, and it didn't. So, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of gains. I think that despite the inflation, I think the Americans and some other people coming from other countries are going to do well, because with the peso faltering, that's kind of a good thing for Americans. But the inflation, I don't know. I don't know what inflation is going to be like over here. It could get bad. It could stay where it is. But, prices are always cheaper in the Philippines than back home, especially on housing. So you make it up on your housing. So I'll just say that. Over here you're going to save a lot on housing. So SG is still closed, however. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end this here because this is like a good time to end. I just answered all the questions and everything. Usually we don't get that. And we got 59 thumbs up and 84 people still left on here, guys. And God bless, guys. I want to thank everybody. Let me see. I'll answer a couple more. We had a couple more pop on here. Once the Philippines opens and foreigners will be allowed to enter, prices will skyrocket. Rent, transportation. I don't think rent will go up. I really don't, Tyler Paul. It might go up a little bit in some of the heavily expat areas, but my area, we're not heavily expat here. So if anything, I think prices might drop because they're building so many apartments around here. Although people are moving into them, some people aren't paying their rents, and they would rather see an expat in there than they would like a regular Filipino because they know that they get paid. Joe Davis says, "I'd be hollering at you soon for military SRV. Hopefully, yeah, that's fine, Joe. You can get in touch with me anytime, guys. Anytime you guys need anything, if you need to get in touch with me, just email me at steven5975 at yahoo.com. Steven is with a V, and just email me, ask me for my number, and you can call me, and I answer most of the time. And if you can't reach me one day, just call me the next. Usually I answer almost all the time, so you don't have to worry about asking questions or any of that. And I don't charge people either, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's see, Brian, retired PH. Where can a non-vet American get Pfizer, Moderna, or JJ vaccine in the Philippines? I think if you are on the SRV, you can get it. But if you're not on the SRV, I don't think you can. That's what I heard. Can I go somewhere and pay for it? Or do I have to settle for the Chinese vaccine? Actually, most of the places are handing out Pfizer, Moderna, and some of the places are getting away from the Sinovac now. They're starting to get, I know the one around near me, they're giving out the other one now. So they're away from the Chinese one. So just FYI, guys. One guy, Tyler, says, Brian, you're screwed. I don't think he's screwed. I think he could probably get it. He's going to have to shop around and ask people how he could get it if he went there. Just go to the local mall where they're giving it out and ask them how you could get it. Okay, I think you can. Norma says, God bless, Steve. Thanks for this, help us a lot. And then Chaya, I just arrived from Afghanistan last night here. I'm home at Peabody, Mass. There you go. That's not too far from where I'm from. Let's see, Tyler Paul, good luck. They will tell you it's the good vaccine, and then we'll give you the Chinese vaccine. No, I don't think so. Amphib Avs, what's your next adventure video? I'm not sure. I'm thinking next month I'll probably go up to Manila again, and I'll do some of the other areas I haven't done. I do want to go out to Corregidor as soon as this thing goes away. I do want to go there. Chaya says, I wonder, can I send some cold Tylenol to my lady and her kids over there in Manila by FedEx? I'm not sure. You can get most of that stuff here at Watson's and stuff like that. It might not be Tylenol, but it's just as good, if not better. Actually, they have oregano cold medicine, and it's really, really good. Tell her to get the oregano cold medicine or cough medicine or whatever. That helps with the cold. Okay, Chad, I take that over here, and I like that better than Tylenol. Amphibab says, like you did with Veteran Cemetery and Intermuse. That's Becca. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more Amphib. I'm gonna do some. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm gonna do. I do want to get out to Corregidor. I do want to go back out to Fort Drum to get onto the island and actually go into Fort Drum to show that. And I don't know if you know that much about Fort Drum. I do have some videos way back. If you go back, you can see some short videos about Fort Drum. I go for a ride in a boat around it, and it shows all the walls and everything. It's just kind of cool. But anyway, guys, I just want to say God bless, guys. Thank you for watching. And, if you guys need anything, you guys know I'm always here. So thanks for watching, though, guys. And like I said, you can always email me, leave a comment in the comment section or whatever, and I always try to get back to everybody. If I don't, just send me another email or another comment. I might have missed it or something like that. But, I always try to get back with everybody. If you see a thumbs up there, that means I saw your thing, and I always try to answer as many people as I can. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. Thank you, guys.